Well, Tom Pollard is from the mental health charity Mind and joins me now in the studio. Tom, thanks very much for coming in. OK, let's go right back to the beginning of this. How anxious has this whole procedure made people?
Well, people who get in contact with Mind are very worried about this. You know, people are already experiencing mental health problems, so they already may have issues around anxiety. But these reforms were introduced alongside an expectation of saving a lot of money, and so people are inevitably worried that they may lose the support they get from Disability Living Allowance.
OK, now that there's been this delay, although the government says it's to get it right, which I suppose is one good thing, people want it to be right.
Absolutely. Mind welcomes the delay. Around 500,000 people with mental health problems get support from DLA, and anything that can be done to make this process fairer and more accurate is welcome. But it doesn't really allay our overall concerns that many people will lose support as a result of this process.
And the assessment situation, what is that doing for people?
Well, we've seen similar assessment processes for other benefits, and we know that people with mental health problems really find those processes difficult. They find it hard in that context to explain how their problem affects them, and often they end up getting the wrong result and losing support, and that ends up costing the government more because there's appeals that shouldn't have to happen in the first place. And if people get the wrong result and don't get the support they need, often they end up having other support needs because their health declines.
And your people coming to your charity Mind, what are they asking you to do for them?
Well, people are really worried about the changes, and they want us to try and make sure that the change happens in a fair way as possible. People aren't opposed to all change, but they want to make sure that if they need support, they can get that support and don't have to go through too onerous a process that has a really bad impact on them in order to get that support.
And have you been lobbying government?
Absolutely. We've made some changes to the benefit as it's been designed along the way, but we're still not really happy with it, and we are still worried that people with mental health problems will lose out as a result of the changes.
Looking at some of the details today, we could be going into maybe 2015 with this. Of course, coming up to an election, things might even change again.
Absolutely, and that uncertainty really does no one any good, because people want to know what's happening, what they can expect, and what's happened all the way along with this is that the government hasn't really scheduled enough time to pilot the changes to make sure they're getting it right. They've tried to rush it, and as a result what we've seen today is now they're having to backpedal and slow things down, which, as we say, we welcome, but it would be better if that had happened in the first place and people could have been more sure about where they stood.
And how much contact do you have with other charities on this particular issue?
A lot of contact. We work in coalition with a huge number of disability charities. Everyone has very similar concerns. The people they hear from are people who really need support. We just don't recognise that picture of a huge amount of waste. What we see is people who need that support, and their concern is that as these changes come in, people will lose support, and as a result will not be able to live in as independent way as they should be able to.
And particularly those suffering with mental health problems, are you concerned that they might fall through the cracks?
Absolutely. With Disability Living Allowance, lots of people with mental health problems are on the lower end of that benefit, and we know that with the new system there'll be a high level of eligibility, so people may lose out that way, but also the system that's being used for assessing people is really problematic for people with mental health problems, and we don't feel the government has really learnt the lessons of previous benefits assessments and has gone into this new system, and it's going to have the same result that lots of people lose out because they can't really navigate that system in the right way.
And what about the numbers of people contacting you?
We hear from people daily about their concerns with welfare reform. Either they come to us at national level or they go and see their local minds, which provide advice and support, and we know this is one of the biggest concerns for people with mental health problems at the moment.
OK, Tom Pollard, thank you.
Thank you.